My name is Michelle, and I'm currently a fourth year in college. I'm majoring in biology, and when I'm not studying, I like to go on hikes and do anything with nature. Sometimes I snorkel, and on my free time I also volunteer at the beach. I've lived in California my whole life. I have a pretty normal life. I have very loving parents, and my parents, they're from Taichung, from Taiwan. We go back every year to go see our relatives and pay our respects to our ancestors. My immediate and my distant family, all of them are all casual Buddhists. And as a kid growing up, my family, they had bad experiences with Christians, and because of that, they taught me, oh, Christianity is a pompous religion, they're really entitled, they're really self-righteous, and because of that, I really absorbed these ideals, and I had a bad taste in my mouth whenever I think about Christians. But for whatever reasons, I still believed in God. I felt that there has to be some kind of intellectual being that created this universe. There has to be some kind of first and a last. So because my family were Buddhist, I really embraced their principles. I really like the idea how righteous, how justified the religion is, how there's a reincarnation, how there's a punishment and reward for the things that you do in your current lifetime. And I love nature, so of course I really liked how they really respect nature, how they embrace love and peace. These principles were great, but it didn't protect me from developing OCD, depression, and later a voice in my head that will tell me what to do. And as a kid growing up, I've actually was a very sad child. I've always felt an emptiness in my heart. I felt that everything was in vain. If you struggle, if you labor, if you enjoy life, at the end of the day, everyone's going to die. So what's the purpose of living? And I also thought much about life. I felt that I thought about how cruel human beings are, how unfair the world is. So I was very, very sad, and because of this, I developed depression, and I remember I would even contemplate suicide, and I would think of ways, which ways would be most painless. Sometimes I would stare at the balcony and then really would want to jump off of it, but thank goodness I didn't have the courage at the time to do it. And as I said before, I also developed OCD, and the thing is, this only happened at night, that I would always have to repetitively wash my hands, and this was because I had a voice in my head that would tell me what to do. It would go say, oh, go wash your hands again, do it again, again, go turn on the lights, go turn off the lights, go check the oven. It would tell me these things at night, and it would prevent me from sleeping. So I would get up, go wash my hands, go back to bed, get up, go wash my hands, go back to bed. And this would happen for maybe 2 to 3 hours before I would be too tired and fall asleep. So the first time I came in contact with True Jesus Church, it was truly God's perfect timing, God's perfect guidance that led me to this church, because during the time I was struggling with the OCD, the depression, the voice in my head, God really placed a sister to be in contact with my mom. So my mom and the sister were friends, but they just happened to not be in contact for the past few years, and they just suddenly started to talk again. She casually invited me to this church camp that they're having, and I didn't want to go, but my mom actually forced me to go to make some new friends. So I reluctantly went. So when I came to this camp, I was very, very open-minded. They taught me how to pray, and then I obediently went, knelt down and prayed. And they taught me about the Holy Spirit, and they taught taught me that I should ask for the Holy Spirit, and this is kind of like a guardian angel to me. I remember when I did receive the Holy Spirit, which was second to the last day of this church camp, I remember that my tongue started to roll on its own. And I felt very peaceful and very joyful. And if you look at Acts chapter 2, it mentioned that then there appeared to them divided tongues as of fire, and one sat upon each of them. And this was the same experiences that I had when I received the Holy Spirit, that I started to speak in tongues. So when I came back from this church camp, it was truly a miracle, because all the depression and OCD and the voice in my head that I mentioned before was miraculously just disappeared, vanished. And I didn't even ask for it. And it was so amazing that I was able to just sleep soundly, and I was able to, I just felt like a cup inside my heart was just filled with joy. It wasn't empty anymore. Nothing is in vain anymore. I felt like I have a purpose in life. As I said before, I grew up as a casual Buddhist, and because of that, I was never exposed to any Christianity background or history, none of that. I didn't even know who Jesus was. I just thought, oh, he's some kind of important person. Everyone knows his name, so he must be important. After I came back from the camp, I finally knew who he was, and I started to believe in him. I know that he really died for us, that he really is God. So after I came back from the church camp, I was actually pulled out of church for 6 years, but nevertheless, I still held my faith. But during these 6 years, there is a lot of conflicts in the family. There's a lot of tension, a lot of silent treatments, questioning my faith. It was pretty difficult, but what really strengthened me during this time was, it was mentioned in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8 through 9. This is actually one of my favorite verses, because it really did pull me through these struggles. So it says, we are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed. During these 6 years, I visited a couple of other Christian churches as well, through my Christian friends at school. And when I went there, it was just a little bit different. I just felt that God's presence wasn't really there. Although I have to say, when I went there, I was really moved, because the people there had so much love for God, so much love for man. It's just, I just personally feel God's presence wasn't there. But I believe that God's presence abides in True Jesus Church, because I believe that it has doctrines that are aligned with the Bible, and evidence of that is the Holy Spirit and being able to speak in tongues. Ever since I started believing in God, I felt like I have a purpose in life, and that's two things: to serve a higher being, and to seek after my salvation and the salvation of others. And none of our lives are perfect. We're still going to be faced with sorrows and obstacles in this world. But in this time that we are weak, that's when we can find God and be strengthened by Him. We can lean on Him. And what can man do? They can comfort, they can sympathize, but most of the times they can't solve problems that we inevitably face. And this is when God comes in, that God's power can truly help either solve our problems and sometimes just give us strength.